This is itinerant voice actor Carl Bishop for Wise Brother Media. American Idol winner Caleb Johnson is with me. How's it going, man?
Doing good. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Now, you're 25 years old, right?
Yep.
The music you're performing is basically rock and roll, like a soulful, definitely a soulful kind of Americana music. I mean, style that had its heyday about 20 years before you were born. Did you not get the memo that rock is dead? What the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, I know. You know, it's you know, you have to love it. You have to love it to do it. And I don't think rock and roll is dead. I think rock and roll is alive and well. And you know, it's a genre that is exciting. It's a genre that is very passionate, and it's a genre that kicks ass.
It's going to have to be called something else, because when you call it rock and roll, people are like, oh, no, that died years ago after MTV went off the air. You know, after they stopped playing
horrible.
videos.
That's a horrible outlook. No. I don't think it. You know, I don't think it has. I really, honest to God, I mean, you know what? It has. I don't believe it. I don't believe that it has. And you know, I mean, I'm 25 years old, and I love it. So I mean, you know, I'm not old. I mean,
of course not.
Are
you finding that your friends? I mean, obviously, your band members, the people you hang with, love rock and roll. But are you finding that this is going to have a wider audience for people of your age group?
You know, that's a good question, actually. It's tricky. I mean, for one thing, it does appeal to an older audience because of, you know, the older audience was actually what was big. It was on the radio. I mean, you had these amazing radio stations that played, you know, album rock back in the, you know, 60s, 70s, you know, even in the 80s and 90s. There was great music. There was great records, great rock and roll records. Then there's also amazing rock bands out now. You know, you got bands like Muse, which to me is like a Queen meets Pink Floyd arena band that is a power trio. You know, it's like an amazing band. You know, Jack White, who's like freaking like this blues rock, weird Tim Burton, you know, blues guitar rock slinger. Something like out of a Tim Burton movie. He's like freaking Edward Scissorhands with a guitar. He's ridiculous. I saw him live in L.A. It was like one of the best shows I've ever seen. You know, and it's like, then you have these other bands like, you know, Kings of Leon. And
Caleb, you're proving the point that I was trying to come around to by challenging you with that question, is that there are so many great bands and great musicians still doing this type of music we call rock and roll. People are streaming and downloading their music, but it's not pushed up there at the forefront as... Like,
it's not
you
in the
gotta listen to this. It's not in the mainstream anymore.
And
the younger generation don't necessarily listen to the radio, and their attention is fractured, as is mine.
God, yeah.
So, like, how do you, like, there's no focus, there's no, like, filter, and
there's
no
focus,
arbiter.
There's no filter, and there's no direction.
Right.
It's all over the place. It's crazy. Quick little story, you know, American Idol. The reason why I went on American Idol was to try to inject rock and roll into that mainstream pop vein, because American Idol is a pop show. It's a pop-centered show. So here's this chubby kid from Asheville, North Carolina, 22 years old, mock top hair, you know, who not clean cut, not whatever the mold of whatever anybody would ever think would fit on that show, just waltzes in there and then just crushes it all the way to the top and then wins it. That to me in itself, I feel like is kind of like that there is a hope that this type of music can be put back. How is this guy? How's this guy doing this?
You were the Donald Trump of that show. Everyone's like, he'll never win.
And I did, dude. I did. And you know why? Because I sang my ass off. I went out there and gave it 150 million% every single time, because it's what I love. It's what I love, and it's in my blood.
When you recorded Traveling Band, that was part of the American Idol release, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, because between that and your newer stuff, and the way you're singing with a live band on Hanging with the Band, which is just fantastic, it felt so held back, and probably because you weren't singing with a band, or you didn't have a real band with you. How was that recording done?
Oh, yeah, there was no band. There was no band. It was me singing to a track. It was not, I was just standing in a studio, yeah. That's why there's no energy there.
There's no energy. It just flattens out. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
That's American Idol for you.
I have a theory, Caleb, that singers like yourself, Ronnie James Dio, Sammy Hagar, your idol, Chris Cornell, if they were born if you guys were born in the late 19th century, I think you guys would be opera singers because you have those voices that are big enough and dramatic enough to fill a theater. So,
yeah, I mean,
did you ever have any
in a weird
training?
way?
Did you have any training?
No, I don't. I have
Okay.
no training whatsoever. But the singers you just listed off, that I listened to those. That's how I got influenced by that. Was those big voices.
Yeah.
And it is an opera. I mean, you've got Ronnie James Dio. I mean, his voice he has a vibrato that is reminiscent of an opera
Yeah.
singer. Even like Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden. I mean, it's very operatic. It's very dramatic. It's theatrical. It's what it is. It's a larger than life personality.
Yeah.
Coming through on that voice. I mean, and also probably one of the guy that influenced all those guys is Freddie Mercury. I mean, he is the embodiment of a world-class singer, but also a singer that knows the ins and outs of being dramatic and knowing when to hold back, and then knowing when to give it everything, and then the tonality or just the phrasing of some words. I mean, that just impacts the song even more. That's
I know.
what it is now.
Well, because you have to be young and beautiful, and it's got to be either written by Max Martin or one of the other like Swedish songwriters.
Back, whatever the other guys.
Right.
Who knows?
Keep rocking, keep singing, keep writing. I'll be listening. Thank you so much for having a conversation with me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having it.
Special thanks to Johnny and Robert at Wise Brother Media, celebrity booker Paul Adamo, my partner in crime David Levin at Brainstorm Inc., and the super talented Noel Honig at the Drawing Room NYC. More episodes of Itinerant Voice Actor coming soon. Thanks for listening.